Live stream of the 35th annual Florida Citrus Parade. I'm Caitlin Deneen, a tourism reporter here for the Orlando Sentinel, and I'll be co-hosting the next few hours with the lovely...
Good morning, I'm Cassie Armstrong. I'm a photo and video editor here at the Sentinel. Welcome, good morning. So it's 81 degrees here in Orlando today.
It's a little warm.
A little warm.
We're staying cool here in the Orlando Sentinel studio here on Orange Avenue in downtown Orlando. So we're going to be watching the parade from here, offering some commentary, a little fun facts for you guys as we go along. So I think we've got a few things to lead into today's parade, so stay with us as we see parades past and where we're going from here.
So this year, I think we have a record of 10 floats in the parade, and last year they had 8, and I think we have some pictures of the Citrus Parade through the years that we're going to show now. So there we have the main guy, Squeeze.
Yeah, the mascot, Squeeze. So he's going to be on a golf cart today that they called the Squeeze Mobile. And I think they're actually technically counting that as an 11th float. So they turned a golf cart into a float for the Squeeze Man. As you can see, so every float is actually decorated with live citrus. And so this year we've got oranges, grapefruits, and tangerines.
In the past, they have used watermelon and vegetables. I think that was a year that it was hosted by the Florida, I can't find my notes.
That was the Fresh from Florida parade. Yep,
yes.
And it replaced the Orlando Citrus or the Orange Citrus Parade. That was 2011, and so that parade, the 32nd annual, it was green peppers, watermelons, cucumbers, squash, and corn. So, you know, that was just a little bit different, but citrus is king.
That's right. This year, they say they've used 120,000 pieces of citrus, so that's a lot of oranges and grapefruit and tangerines.
Yeah, and as you saw in some of those photos earlier, they have sort of a safe method to secure that citrus to the floats. They actually attach it using custom ordered orange and yellow rubber bands. They're attached to a chicken wire using a slip knot method, and then the fruit is let me say it one more time. The fruit is slid into the rubber band so it's not damaged. So don't worry, we're not wasting a ton of citrus here in Florida. It's actually going to be donated.
It's actually donated to some of the food banks here in Orlando. So if you're wondering what happens to all of that gorgeous fruit after the parade is over, it goes to a pretty good cause.
And I think one of the coolest things, so these floats are only constructed in 3 days. They're 10 shifts with 700 volunteers, which is just total madness, right?
Yeah, that's right. Most people sign up for a 1 4-hour shift, and like you said, one volunteer will probably participate in all 10 of those shifts. That's a lot of hours put with your fingers on citrus.
I mean, I think that's just complete dedication, which speaks to the popularity and the volume of this parade. I mean, we've got marching bands and representation from all over the country. So it's a pretty fantastic event, and we're here at the Orlando Sentinel very excited to be hosting this live stream for you guys a few days before it actually goes up live on or up on television and rebroadcast. So you guys are getting a sneak peek when other people have to wait a few days to see this.
That's right. And so this parade is 35 years old. So I think that means it started in 1980. It's had a lot of different names over the years.
It has. It definitely has. You know, and I think one of the biggest things and one of the biggest takeaways, as you can see from the live stream here right now, guys, so this parade is extremely popular. Some tickets are even sold on Ticketmaster to secure a seat. So you don't
in the grandstand area.
In
That's
the grandstand,
right.
yeah. So you don't have to be some of the people you see sort of scouring for a spot on Orange Avenue.
Sitting on the curb.
Yeah, they're finding it. They've got people up in the grandstands there. So.
Angela, look, I made a mess.
Oh, somebody made a mess.
That's the only reason I did it. Angela,
I don't know who's sweeping that up, but I know I'm comfortable here in the Sentinel studio.
Angela from New Hampshire.
So, you know, let's talk about a little bit about the parade and the fact that it's celebrating the holidays, you know, both Christmas and New Year's and all the holidays that happen this time of year. And it's two annual college football games, or football bowl games. We've got the Russell Athletic Bowl and then the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl.
That's right. And the Russell Athletic Bowl was actually played last night at the Citrus Bowl. And the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl will be played on New Year's Day.
Fantastic, yeah. So we've got a lot happening here. You can see a lot of pre-activity.
Oh, wait, Caitlin, look what we have.
Oh, well, somebody has brought us, I think, some Florida citrus.
Yeah. Freshly squeezed, I'm sure.
Well, cheers.
Cheers.
We promise, guys, this is actually just orange juice.
Absolutely.
We keep it professional here at the Orlando Sentinel.
What's your favorite?
So I think, this is the first time that the Sentinel has hosted sort of in-studio hosts. So we'll see how everything goes. Luckily here at the Sentinel, we do sort of almost have a front seat view to the parade. It's pretty much right outside our downtown location. And, it does cause a little bit of a traffic headache.
A little bit. Yeah, getting to work was a little sticky this morning.
I think the big thing, though, is I kind of think it's pretty much just worth it because we get to have this spectacular event run through our downtown.
Right. Last year we had a band warming up in our parking lot. That was fun.
Oh, I missed that.
Mm-hmm.
That's fun.
So here we are in front of the grandstand. I think the parade has started, but we're still waiting for them to pass by where the grandstand area is.
Yeah, the parade kicked off at 11 a.m. after that beautiful rendition of the Star Spangled Banner, which happened right in front of the grandstand. So I guess we're just going to have a look in and see what kind of street activity we have going on down there.
So, anyways, we're gonna. The parade's already started. Where are all my band parents at? Let's make some.
All right, so I think we're going to show some pictures of the actual building of the floats from this year, from the Citrus Parade's website or Facebook page. So here are some of them actually under construction this year.
And they are constructed locally. I think this year the host construction site was the Orange County Convention Center, which is down on International Drive.
And there you can see some of the yellow bands that they use to attach the fruit to the floats.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that's just genius. If we could save some of that fruit and give it to the local food banks, why wouldn't we?
That is a lot of fruit. Look at it all lined up.
Kind of just makes me hungry. Oh, and we have been pointed out that we actually have citrus to eat here. So we can drink it, we can eat it. I mean, I think we're living the dream here at the Sentinel.
This is good.
So as we have said, guys, this parade really does sort of lead to and highlight the holidays and celebrating of 2 football bowl games. So we're going to bring in our college sports editor, and she's gonna come in and talk about the game and sort of what this event is celebrating. So we're gonna cut to her in just a second, but we'll actually talk about the sport behind the parade.
That's right. Welcome, Ileana. This is Ileana Limon, our college's sports editor.
Thank you so much. Glad to be joining you all. It looks like a very nice day for parade. I've seen all over the country, tons of rain, tons of storms. Looking good in Orlando.
It's a nice sunny 81 degrees here right now. Everybody wants to be here.
For sure, for sure. Well, like y'all said, a very interesting matchup for this year's game. Pretty high profile. 2 fairly famous college football coaches. Jim McElwain had great success at UF in his first season, and Jim Harbaugh left the NFL, landed at Michigan, and it's kind of the story of the offseason, just really his unique tactics, firing up players, and both of them have made the most of their opportunity this year. So a lot of excitement around this game.
So, I'm a little bit of a sports fan, Ileana. So, but tell me, for people who are new to the Citrus Bowl and to this event, tell me a little bit about what we can expect going into this.
Well, like I said, it's a pretty exciting matchup. Both of these teams struggled last season. Both of them parted ways with their head coaches, and they brought these new and exciting coaches in to try to turn things around. But the expectation wasn't necessarily that they'd be able to do so well right out of the gate. Florida played for the SEC championship. Michigan was definitely a contender in the Big Ten, and they were supposed to be kind of terrible. So they've overachieved, and now the question is, how will these overachievers do in this bowl game? What will the coaches do with this month of preparation they had ahead of this game? UF has a tremendous defense. Jim McElwain is known for his offense, but they've struggled to get that off the ground because, like I said, they needed some time to rebuild. On the other side, Michigan, also known for a good defense, their offense was a little steadier, but still, it's going to be a pretty tough matchup. The strengths are the defenses, and whoever can avoid making a lot of mistakes on offense is probably going to win this one. I think there's a lot of excitement to see how creative are these coaches going to get with the limited resources that they had. How much are they going to be able to pull out of their bag of tricks? McElwain was once known for a lot of trick plays. Will he do that a whole bunch? We'll have to find out.
Sounds like we might have some excitement then. Do you think it'll be a high-scoring game, or?
It's really, really hard to tell. I think the defenses don't lend themselves necessarily to that, but at the same time, everything kind of changes when you have a whole month to prepare. These coaches usually have like 5 days to get ready for games, and I think when you had this much time, you're able to say, okay, what can we work on? What didn't we roll out there before? How can we use this to our advantage? And so the coaches are usually pretty fired up about trying to find some new wrinkles and shake things up a bit. So I think some people have predicted it to be a low-scoring game. I don't think it's going to be that low-scoring. I think each team has their flaws, which is going to open the door to some excitement and some back and forth.
Some opportunities then.
For sure.
And so the teams aren't the only people who are prepping for the game. I mean, here at the Orlando Sentinel, I'm pretty sure our sports department has been doing just enough as well to get ready for this exciting bowl game. So can you offer some insights for what the department's been doing to gear up for this game?
Absolutely. Well, I'll let Cassie talk a little bit about the visuals team and how excited they are about showing you all angles of this particular matchup. But our reporting staff, we're really fortunate. We have reporters who cover the Florida Gators full-time all year round. So they're joining our team that would normally be covering this bowl as well. It gives us a really great group to get to all the different angles of Michigan and what they're getting ready for, all the different angles of the Gators, what they're getting ready for, helps take people behind the scenes, helps them understand what to prepare for. You'll have live updates during the game. If for whatever reason you can't make it out to the stadium, you can join our conversation online, follow along, and then post-game we'll just have tons of insight, interviews, analysis of what exactly happened.
Fantastic.
That's right, and we have the photo-video duo that covered the Rose Bowl last year. They're a great group together. They work well together, so we'll have photo galleries up during the game, video up after the game, so you have to come back to os.com to see all of that fantastic coverage.
So she might just be underselling it a little bit because look, you can get photo galleries in other places, but we're talking about Joe Burbank and Stephen Dowell, the Dowell Burbank team. You will have amazing panoramic pictures from Joe
That's
Burbank.
right.
Great view of the stadium. It's going to be exactly, if you wanted to know what happened during the Buffalo Wild Wings Citrus Bowl, what that stadium looked like, what that iconic day was like, he will give you that picture.
That's right.
Very memorable.
So we'll have good game action, but we'll have a lot of good atmosphere, people, the fans, yes, all of that good stuff.
Yeah.
Fantastic. So I think it's safe to say that people should stick with OrlandoSentinel.com, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. I think we're going to be a little bit all over the map.
We're everywhere.
We're on it.
We're on it.
We're all over it.
Excellent. Fantastic. Leon, thanks for stopping in and explaining the game, and may the best team that day win.
Wait, do you have a prediction?
Oh, yes.
Ooh, do I have a prediction?
Do we?
Yeah, you can't. Are you going to be able to leave without,
Yeah. A lot of people are picking Michigan. I think they're slightly ahead the way they ended the season, but I really think that Jim McElwain is the kind of coach with enough time to prepare could pull some tricks. And I really like Florida's defense. I think they're really, really tough. So I'm going to go with a surprise.
Oh, you're
give
picking
a slight
the Gators.
edge to the Gators.
All right.
So, surprise. I think most people, like I said, if you were actually betting, most people would say Michigan for sure. But I think the Gators might
People
pull
like
something
an
off.
underdog.
It's an underdog. They
right.
just might pull something off in this game.
Excellent. Well,
All
guys,
right.
stay with the Sentinel for live game coverage. It's going to be great.
Thank you,
Excellent.
Ileana.
Thanks, Ileana.
Thank you.
All right. So, I think what's up for grabs is more than just bragging rights and more than the bowl title. I've heard that Florida's Attorney General actually had a little friendly wager with
Really?
Michigan's Attorney. Yeah. So up for grabs would be a basket of Florida citrus if he wins, and up for her would be a bushel of Michigan apples. So,
Oh, wow.
There's more than just a bowl game and pride on the line. So you guys, just so you know, we're not just going to have a camera at a grandstand and video there. We also have a wandering camera with Rich Pope, and some of that footage I think is what you're seeing right now. Rich is out there live streaming for us, capturing the atmosphere and sort of that real man on the street journalism that the Sentinel likes to do so much. So you're going to see some different angles in addition to our official camera.
Very nice.
So it looks like we saw Squeeze go by, and he was throwing out some citrus to the parade goers, and it looks like also the first citrus float went by.
I believe so.
I know them all. Give it up for him. Are you with Christy? Oh, very nice. Here, you know
So
what?
right now, it's my understanding we're on the Rich Pope camera, and he's getting this live stream. I think he's utilizing an iPad out there. So
Everybody makes a noise
we're
for the
keeping
camera.
it
For camera.
really real for you guys on this live stream. Oh, and there we go. And we're back to our main camera.
Yeah.
And obviously those people are still just waiting for the parade to go by them.
Yeah.
That would be the grandstand, which is sort of the central spot of this downtown route.
Yeah, take a sign.
Yes,
Go
and
Lancers.
there is where we have Sarah Espedito stationed with her camera. So we're just waiting for them to come by. It might be a few more minutes before they pass
Look
by
at
the
this guy.
grandstand.
Sir, stand up.
So I gotta, while we're sort of waiting here,
Yes,
Cassie,
you,
I gotta
sir.
tell you, this is
Sit down,
only
sir.
my second December in Florida, and I don't think I understood the importance of this Florida Citrus Parade until prepping for this studio visit here with you. So, I mean, how long have you been in town, and tell me your memories of the parade?
Well, I have lived in Orlando for 12 years, came from the Midwest, so it was a big change coming down. I moved down in October, actually, so, it was like perfect timing on my part to come from Indiana to Florida where the weather is so beautiful. And I worked nights at the time, so my memories of the parade were that it was done by the time I came to work.
Fair enough, fair enough. Yeah, I think last year, as you said, we had a band,
We did, yes.
practicing and warming up in one of our parking lots, and it's a shame I missed it, but I will say the one thing I noted, being a tourism reporter, is that I had to re-navigate everywhere I was going to and covering because of this parade. But, like I've said, it's a worthy traffic headache because it's kind of fantastic to be part of this.
And here you're again seeing some pictures of the Citrus Parade through the years, the different marching bands that participated, the different floats, parade goers, folks that were here.
We have perfect weather to, one, be showing your midriff, go LSU, and that might be inappropriate. Anyway, so continue on. We are in beautiful, sunny Orlando, Florida, so kids in t-shirts and enjoying the sunshine is pretty normal year-round here.
Yeah, although I think it was either last year or the year before, we had rain. So there was one parade that had to go off in the rain, which was a little soggy.
Feel bad for that guy carrying
Yeah.
a shovel. I'm assuming there was a horse in front of him.
I would hope.
Oh, brother. Oh, we got some police, which, by the way, I think it should be noted, I'll go ahead and admit it, I haven't done the research, but I can't even imagine the public safety effort that's going into making sure this parade downtown Orlando is, locked up tight and a very safe event for everybody.
Safely goes off without a hitch, yes.
Exactly. So, and if you guys know anything about Orlando, we are a tourist destination.
That's
So
right.
take our year-round population and multiply it. So once you add
we got some
sports
Gators
fans, you're gonna just have that much more people in downtown.
That's right, that's right. It can get a little congested, but that's okay. We'll sit back and enjoy some orange juice. and-
Yes. And I think we'll show you guys just a little bit more of the action. And once the parade hits the grandstand area, we'll be sharing some facts about the bands we're seeing and the floats we're seeing. That way you guys see exactly what is happening in downtown Orlando.
As it happens, yes. Looks like we have some police that are getting ready to come in front of the grandstand area. So maybe that's the start there.
Excellent. Yeah, police motorcade is a surefire sign that we are
Yes.
starting soon.
That's right. Guy running down the side over there.
I don't want to be put you in my nose. I mean, am I in yours?
Yeah.
I have to say, I'm always a fan when I see the old-timey cars and trucks. I don't know why. I just think it adds so much to a parade. We're mixing that modern
That's right.
float construction with some, real American craftsmanship of years gone by.
Yes, all shined up and looking spiffy. Here we have the Orlando Firefighters, pipe and drums,
Giving a nice
Waving
wave to the camera. Hello,
as they walk by.
fellas.
So this must be them coming here then. I'm not sure we can hear anything yet from it. Oh yeah.
Oh, we've got a little drummer in training down there. Is that a little kilt? How cute is that?
Come
Hey,
on,
little
catch
man.
up, catch up.
You're losing pace, bud.
That's quite the group of them there.
That's huge.
yeah.
Oh, we got some
Some
young Gator
families.
fans teaching them early, I think.
She may realize this though.
Talk about that? All right, so we're seeing some, that would be some Orlando Firefighters there for you guys. One of the, I think that was Tower 11.
Sarah, we've lost your feed and audio.
All right, so coming up now, we have the Shawnee Mission Northwest High School Marching Band. There they go marching by. This is the Marching Cougars, I believe.
All right, guys, so that would be the Florida Citrus Sports float. I'm trying to catch a glimpse of what they're tossing out there. Oh, beads. Orange
Yes.
beads.
So this is the first float that's going by the grandstand area right now.
Excellent. Yeah, so just so you guys know, proceeds generated from Florida Citrus Sports events benefit charities and educational institutions. And the primary beneficiary is the Florida Citrus Sports Foundation MVPs. And that foundation is committed to enhancing the quality of life for disadvantaged youth and families in Central Florida. So they're doing good work all around.
And they have been for 60 years.
Fantastic.
So, yeah. And this is, I do believe, the Orange County Honor Guard unit. Is that
Excellent.
on their motorcycles? I always, my dad had a motorcycle and always scared me half to death. When I see these guys going in circles, I wonder how they can stay on. Pulling off their maneuvers. Oh, we have a little bit of a gap. Often happens in parades.
But I will say, since we are live down there, it's awesome that the gap will be filled with children super excited that they're on live stream. I promise, children, I am virtually high-fiving all of you. Oh, and you can see, so that little lady who is hamming it, oh, hello.
Hello,
I wish you
hello.
could hear me too. She is wearing a green crown from medieval times. It's one of the local attractions and destinations we have here in Orlando. Oh, and I think we see some Disney.
Well, you can't have a parade in Orlando without some Disney.
Oh, I think that definitely almost goes without saying.
Yeah.
Whether it's Mickey or Minnie or Donald or Daisy, they're all in town.
Oh, here's the color guard.
There
Yes.
we go. The Orange County Honor Guard unit, yes.
Yep.
I can't imagine how much practice it is to step with such synchronicity.
Yes.
That's impressive. that on.
Well, they've got it down pat, that's for sure.
And look at how shiny their shoes are. All right, guys, so we have in-house Kevin Spear. He's gonna offer his, I guess, his
Tip.
2 cents.
My
his
2
tip.
cents.
Yeah, so Kevin, tell us a little bit about what brought you into the studio today.
Well, my 2 cents is if you're going to be downtown, use one of these and 2 wheels and a bike. It's pretty packed down there. I just came through downtown and cars half mile away are backed up in traffic, which is a price to pay. But if you're on a bike, it's a blast.
Hey, Kevin,
Weave around them.
can you hold up the one
up
of
your
these?
little helmet,
all right.
yeah.
Yeah, that
Safety
one.
first.
Safety first, we second. So anyway, that's my 2 cents. It's fun down there. I was just, as you can see, the parade's coming up Magnolia, Roslyn, in front of the amphitheater. So pretty cool, lots of kids, but I kind of zoomed on by.
So bike traffic is the way to go today.
Definitely bike traffic. Police
Excellent.
wave you by and it's all good. So do it.
Fantastic. Well,
Anyway,
Kevin Spear, reporter with his own 2 cents.
Thank you,
That's it.
Kevin.
Thanks, Kevin.
nice talking.
All right, and back to the parade, guys.
Oh, people crossing from one side to the other.
Guys, that would be medieval times like I was talking about. That would be the king and probably his royal highness and all the knights and steeds.
Now that looks a little warm.
Yeah.
Considering how warm it is here in Orlando right now, and they've got on armor
And all the layers. You know, and guys, when it comes to medieval times, as a tourism reporter, I can tell you this is not just an attraction and a destination. They're also very popular in the community, doing community service and outreach services. They bring one of their falcons to almost any event if a group or organization requests it. So they're quite a presence here in Orlando beyond the tourist dollar.
oh,
Some familiar faces, I think, here in
Yes.
the Sunshine State.
well, we have Albert the alligator and Alberta, I believe is.
I'm a big fan of the gator chomp.
Yeah.
And I have to say, guys, you know, I'm not from Florida, but do I respect their spirit? Heck yes, I do. All right, and back to the main cam in front of the grandstands.
Give it up for these lovely ladies.
I didn't know there were going to be dogs in the parade.
You know, I mean, is it really a parade without dogs?
Without dogs? Could have brought my dogs.
All right, guys, so while we're sort of at a lull here in the parade in front of the grandstands, we're bringing in Orlando Sentinel technology reporter Marco Santana. And you know, this bowl happens on New Year's, so he's going to talk about some tips to party safe on New Year's Eve. So Marco, what's up?
Why do I look so frightened? I swear, like I'm looking at myself on the screen, I look so scared. I'm not, I promise you. Well, no, tomorrow obviously is New Year's Eve, and everybody, you know, gets out and tries to find a good party to go to. And what we're doing is we're gonna write a story about how technology helps people right now. Everybody, you know Uber, you know Lyft, you know. Mears is a big taxi company around here, and so they have an app of their own. So everyone has those options when you're out there partying and don't have to sugarcoat it. People get out there and they drink a little too much or something, but that could end up in a very, as fun as that is, it could end up in a very not
Fun situation.
Not fun situation.
Right.
And you know, almost if you do something dumb like that, if you're lucky, you get arrested, right?
Right.
Again, we don't want to talk about the
The
terrible
other side of
ramifications, yeah. But there are some options out there right now. We have, I guess, all of those ride sharing. There are mobile apps out there. There's one app that we wrote about that is, it lets you track your drinks, and then it kind of converts that immediately into a blood alcohol content. Now,
Interesting.
again, that's more of a guideline. I even put in the story that if you even approach those limits, don't even mess with it. But yeah, so that's going to be in tomorrow's Orlando Sentinel, and I'm actually just here to watch the parade. And
Well,
have some
really,
fun
the
here.
wisest thing to do is to make your plan before you even go out, obviously,
Yeah.
right? So that you're not driving or having
Yeah, I mean,
to make that decision.
designated drivers are important. I mean,
Right.
you can use technology as much as you want, but ultimately it's you being responsible. And every year, the Florida Highway Patrol comes out with tips and things to do on how to be safe, and a lot of it is designated drivers. Just watch your limit, hand over your keys,
That's
and
right.
that kind of stuff. It's you hear about it every year, and yet every year there's still accidents out there from people who aren't following or who aren't listening to those tips. And you just don't want to be one of those people who
That's right.
ends up in those accidents.
And something additionally that we reported for the Orlando Sentinel last week is the fact that AAA once again is offering their Tow to Go program, and that's offered in Tennessee, Georgia, and here in Florida. And you don't have to be a AAA member to take advantage of that. It was from Christmas Eve through New Year's Day. If you call AAA, they will confidentially pick you up and drive you and your car to a safe destination in 10 miles without any charge, without membership, and that would just be another way, in addition to the tips
Yeah,
you've included,
and
to stay safe this holiday season.
It's funny. It's interesting to me because it's a weird combination of go and party, go out and have fun and everything, but be responsible about it. And on the one hand, you have bars everywhere saying we have these specials, come on out and everything. But even the bars, I think only in recent years, I mean, I'm talking 10, 15 years, have they also said, here are some options to
Right.
be safe about it too.
Well, we want everybody visiting Florida, whether you live here, you're here vacationing, or you're here with family, to make a good plan, have a designated driver or plan to use, as you said, one of these apps for Uber, Lyft, Mears.
So if you're watching this live stream here in Florida, or if you're watching it from home, everybody here at the Sentinel hopes you get home safe on New Year's Eve tomorrow night.
But have a good time too.
Yeah. Have fun, but safely. So Marco, thanks for popping in today.
Sure.
Thank you, Marco.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, guys, so we are back in front of the grandstand with a little bit more footage of what is happening in downtown Orlando, Florida.
It looks like we have the Orlando Firefighters again, coming through the grandstand area this time.
Guys, as you're watching this live stream, it should be clear, but just in case it's not, we are kind of hopping between the grandstand area where the main parade is and our roaming camera with Rich Pope. So you can tell if we're seeing things, once, twice, 3 times the charm, it's because we're here at the Orlando Sentinel, we're mobile, and we're bringing you all aspects of the parade. So stay with us.
This must be a shot from Rich then on the side. Okay, back to the grandstand. The Orlando Firefighters, pipes and drums.
Yeah, but we saw them earlier on Rich Pope's camera, so obviously he was catching them at the very beginning of the parade route, maybe even the staging area.
I want to wave back. I mean,
I
they can't see me, but
I'm going to go ahead and guess that all those people waving that you guys are seeing, they are waving directly at you, our live streamers.
Of course.
I'm going to pretend like I have the clout to make that happen.
oh yeah, now you can hear them playing.
There we go. We're going to have a listen in, guys, so stay with us here.
Oh, there's another little one.
Oh, we got a Michigan fan in the
Michigan
house.
fan.
I think Orlando is drawing the line.
Some family members, some of the younger
Of
sets.
course, yeah. I mean, it's not really a parade unless we've got kids involved too.
Fire engine number 1.
The big house. I'm a fan of when fire trucks and fire ladders have nicknames. Actually, at previous papers, I was a public safety reporter, and every engine and truck had its own name. So that's a fun little fact. It doesn't matter if it's Florida, North Carolina, Jersey, Connecticut, anywhere else I've reported, everybody is a little sassy when it comes to naming their truck.
Everybody needs a good nickname.
I think so.
Following the Orlando Fire Department, you can hear them coming down the street. It's the Shawnee Mission Northwest High School.
There we go, guys. And as you just
Alright.
heard the announcer, that's the Shawnee Mission Northwest High School. And they're out of Shawnee Mission, Kansas. Their school colors, as you can see from the marching band's uniforms, are orange, black, and white. And the population of the school is just shy of 1,900 students.
Yeah, the Cougars compete in the Sunflower League and are classified as a 6A school, the largest classification in Kansas.
And so, guys, this high school, they've won many state champions in different sports. From 94 to 2007, the Northwest Boys varsity cross country team won the state title. That's 14 years consecutively and 19 years overall. It's a pretty impressive record.
That's some pretty good running.
We didn't have a marching band in my high school, so I might say I'm having a little bit of a marching band in me.
I was not in marching band in high school, but I was in middle school.
Full
And
disclosure-
actually part of the flag corps.
Oh, were you?
Yeah.
Full disclosure, I played clarinet all
did
through high school.
I.
Hello. That would be a fun fact from the Orlando Sentinel. A bunch of music people. All right, guys, this is the Buffalo Wild Wing Citrus Float. No float is complete without, a mascot. So check that guy out.
And guys, I don't know if you heard us at the beginning, but we were talking about what happens to all of the citrus that is on these floats, that people have spent a lot of time, since the day after Christmas up until last night, I'm sure, madly pinning or banding onto the floats.
Yeah, so there's custom ordered orange and yellow rubber bands, and everything is connected to the float, which is a chicken wire, and it's using a safe knot method to secure the citrus to the float. So that way all of it, more than 120,000 pieces, are going to be donated to local food banks. And guys, if you can see right there, welcome to Disney.
Welcome to Orlando.
Welcome to Orlando. The whole gang's here. I mean, we got Goofy, Donald, Daisy, Mickey, and Minnie, and they are dressed appropriately in their floral for the sunny day that is happening in Orlando.
Well, that's a fun car. That's the kind of car you want to be in a parade.
Yeah, without a doubt. Oh, we're back with our Rich Pope, who's on a mobile cam, and he is at a different section of the parade, and so some of the stuff we've seen from him, we're seeing later come down the grandstand, but that's kind of the bonus of following along with the live stream of Orlando Sentinel. We're taking you all around.
Oh, and here we have Fayette County High School Marching Tiger Band.
Yeah, so this is Fayette County High School. It's located in Fayetteville, Georgia, which was named a National Blue Ribbon School in 1999 and a Georgia School of Excellence in 2000. So they've got a population of just about 1,400 students, and that's a 9 through 12 school.
And it says here the school graduates over 90% of its attendees. That's a pretty good percentage there.
I'd say so, but let's have a tune in to the Marching Tigers.
We have the Grand Marshal of the parade, which is retired PGA Tour golfer Chris DeMarco, who actually is a Gator. He graduated from Lake Brantley High School here in Central Florida.
Excellent.
And I believe this is our honorary Grand Marshal.
Back to Rich Pope. He's always with the Michigan Marching Band, and we'll have some fun facts for you when they come up to the grandstand, including the fact that they have more than 3,000 more Twitter followers than I do, and I'm not going to be salty, but you know, it's worth noting. Okay guys, now this is the Florida Restaurant and Lodging Association, and here, since I am a tourism reporter, that includes covering lodging here in Orlando and Central Florida, so these are one of my main sources for information. They are a nonprofit hospitality industry trade association, and their mission is to protect, educate, and promote. And just so you guys know, Florida in total has an $82 billion hospitality industry, and it represents 23% of Florida's economy and more than 1.1 million employees. It's our #1 industry. So it's not just Disney, it's not just Universal, it's the whole kit and caboodle.
And we're back again with Rich Pope with the Michigan Band. I wonder how heavy those are.
You know what? In researching and preparing for this parade, I didn't even consider how heavy percussion equipment is, but I can tell you a tuba weighs between 15 and 30 pounds depending on the size. A little fun fact from the Sentinel.
And here, the medieval times folks again.
Mm-hmm.
Those gorgeous horses.
Look at me, Scott!
Somebody wants Scott to look at him. Scott, look at him.
Come on, Scott.
Oh, and just a fun little thing, since I cover medieval times, they stay in character all the time, even during interviews and even doing professional business with their marketing team. I have not yet received an email where I'm not addressed as Lady Caitlin.
Oh, who doesn't want to be addressed as Lady Caitlin?
I mean, if anybody was going to call me that, it should be medieval times. So thanks, guys. The crowns are getting handed out. That's a kid favorite. I think I even have a crown from my very first trip to medieval times when I went to the one in Toronto, Canada, in high school.
And we have coming up here the Florida Gators Marching Band.
Mm-hmm.
Of course, the Florida Gators are going to be participating in that little bowl game on January 1st. Looking all sunny in their orange and blue. As a matter of fact, the Gator Marching Band is known as the Pride of the Sunshine.
Mm-hmm. You know, they're official marching band of UF. They perform at every Florida Gators home football game, which is at the Ben Hill Griffin Stadium. And they also perform at other events, pep rallies, parades, and of course the annual Orange and Blue Spring Scrimmage game. And you know, we already saw them, but the twirlers are called the Majorettes.
Gatorettes.
Oh, that's
Gator
right. I'm glad somebody could correct. This is what happens when you're not from Florida.
And the color guard is called the Florida Visual Ensemble. And here comes the band. Let's give it a little listen. Quite the large band.
And you can tell so not only are they outfitted, but their instruments are outfitted. Back to Rich Pope, little man on the street with his roaming camera. And back to the grandstand. And guys, this is the Model A's of Greater Orlando. It's a Florida's Model A car club here in town.
Model A apparently was the second huge success after the Ford Motor Company's Model T.
Ah, yes. For all you car fans out there, that probably comes as no surprise. But like I said earlier on our live stream, I'm a fan of seeing American history all shined up for us.
The old-timey cars.
Exactly.
And an old-timey fire truck, too.
Exactly. Back to our own Rich Pope. I have to say, Cassie, I'm a fan of us bouncing from the grandstand camera to sort of a man on the street approach. I think it gives us a holistic view of what this parade is bringing to downtown Orlando.
Yeah, it's fun seeing it from a different perspective, so it's not all the same shot coming down the main drag.
Only a few new cars were built during the Depression and World War II years. The Model A was a very competitive street team until the late 40s.
Looks like they were tossing citrus there.
Oh,
Yep.
Good catch.
That was a great catch.
Good catch and eat it, lady.
Hi, kids.
Little dancing, shimmy action from that young man.
I sure do see a lot of Florida Gator fans.
Oh, and back to the main stand. So guys, this is the Sun Pass Citrus Float. If you are familiar with Florida or from Florida, you all know Sun Pass is the easy way to get through our tolls around here.
That's right.
Here comes the Sun Pass float, brought to you by Florida's Turnpike, part of Florida's Department of Transportation. Whether you're traveling to the white sands of the Gulf Coast beaches, to the amusement parks in Orlando, or the nightlife of Miami, Sun Pass gets you there stress-free. Sun Pass is also accepted in Georgia and North Carolina, before states coming soon. Purchase your Sun Pass today on sunpass.com.
Guys, as you can see coming down the line, that is Londonderry High School. They're from Londonderry, New Hampshire. And, you know, they are the Lancers. And I do want to say that in preparation for today's parade, I wanted to see just how hot is going to be for some of these marching bands. And today's high in Londonderry was forecasted to be 32 degrees.
Oh,
so just imagine these kids are prepared for snow and they're here sweltering in Orlando instead. So
I'm sure they'd much rather be here right now than in Londonderry.
I would think
enjoying
so.
the sunshine.
I would think so. My sister actually lives in New Hampshire, and she texted me this morning saying she was jealous of the warmth she was seeing down here in the Sunshine State.
Well, the Londonderry High School is particularly notable for its Lancer Marching Band and Color Guard, which is the second largest marching band in all of New England and seventh largest east of the Mississippi.
Excellent. You know, and they've gained fame through performances across the country, including 4 performances at the Tournament of Roses Parade in Pasadena. So let's have a little listen in to the Marching Lancers.
Staff photographer and videographer Joe Burbank, who is going to be covering the Citrus Bowl on January 1st.
Part of our visual team.
That's
so,
right.
Joe, tell us what we could expect from you.
Well, it's going to be, of course, a great game with the Florida Gators in Orlando. And
just the Florida Gators?
Well, the Michigan Wolverines
yes,
are,
yes.
Of course, always good to have Michigan in town, and we're looking forward to a great game. Lots of good action that you will see in photographs on OrlandoSentinel.com, so be sure to tune in.
We're very much looking forward to some of your specialty, which are the panoramas of the whole stadium, which gives you the atmosphere and what it feels like to be there.
We like to bring lots of different perspectives, not only the sports action, but the fans, the cheerleaders, and of course the panoramics that we do, and we even break out a GoPro here or there for some different pictures.
So Joe, what mindset do you need to get into to prep for a game like that? I myself am an iPhone photographer, and you're working with the real stuff. So tell me a little bit about that.
I think it helps to know the teams, just don't know what kind of offense the team is going to run, and you have to kind of have an anticipation of what team you're photographing, and then really from a logistics standpoint, we always want to get there early.
Fantastic.
Very early.
Joe, before we let you escape, any prediction on this year's winner?
No.
Probably the safest answer to give.
Yeah, not going to go out and win anywhere there, huh? It's very neutral, folks. Very neutral.
Yes.
All I know is that no matter what, we're probably going to get some winning photography from you.
Well, I certainly hope so. And I have an observation about these floats that are made out of oranges.
Sure.
Yeah.
So I photographed them assembling these floats over the years, and I was listening to your description of how the oranges are attached to the float, and there's a little additional fact that you might not know.
Sure.
The oranges, as they're being handled, attract honeybees. And so when they're building the floats, there will be bees floating, kind of hovering around.
That sounds a little dangerous.
Well, not getting in the way, not in a negative way, but just the bees smell the oranges and
Are attracted.
Yeah. So a little side note there.
Little unknown fact.
That's correct.
Right.
And back to the parade, I just want to show you right now we have the Village's Twirlers and Drum Corps. So the Twirlers were founded in January 2003, and they have main twirling groups. We've got the Parade Corps and the Show Team, and they also have groups called the Banner Team, the Ribbon Girls, and the Santa Babies. And so these ladies are local, these gentlemen are local, and they're bringing their Central Florida flair to our Florida Citrus Parade.
So Joe, you have covered all kinds of events in your years here at the Orlando Sentinel, from politics to sports, all over the place. What's your favorite thing to cover?
Boy, that is a real toughie. I would say that I feel very fortunate to be able to have a front row seat to the theme parks. A world-class destination between Walt Disney and Universal and SeaWorld, having access to photograph their amazing attractions and celebrities that come to town and that sort of thing. It's kind of a unique thing we get to do at the Orlando Sentinel that not every market has. So.
As a tourism reporter, I can't agree anymore with you.
Well, here we have Port Clinton High School, which is a public high school in Port Clinton, Ohio. It's the only high school in Port Clinton High School District. Their nickname is the Redskins.
You know, and guys, this marching band is nicknamed the Pride of the Redskins, and each performance contains a choreographed dance during the final song. And, you know, some people stick with John Philip Sousa and the traditional marching band music. Not the Redskins. They go with Lady Gaga, Guns N' Roses, Bon Jovi. So let's have a listen.
So it says here every 4 years the Port Clinton High School Marching Band performs at Disney World around Christmas time.
You know, fun fact, in high school, I actually performed at Disney World, me and my clarinet. And I also sang in my high school choir, so we were part of Disney's music days. That was something I did back in Connecticut. And so it was a freshman year, and it was the big trip. We took a 24-hour bus ride from Mansfield, Connecticut. I went to E.O. Smith High School, down the turnpike all the way to Walt Disney World. And that was the first time I'd ever been to Florida. And just another fun fact, it was the last time I'd been to Disney until I became a tourism reporter here for the Sentinel. So, we're with Rich Pope, guys. He's capturing some of the action down on Pine and Orange Avenue.
I believe that is officially called the Pope Cam.
That's what we call it, yes.
Yep.
The Pope Cam.
Guys,
So passing by was the Fresh Florida Seafood by FRLA Citrus Float, which featured a fish,
a giant fish.
a giant orange fish.
Guys, and I don't think we really need to explain this, but here is the Budweiser Clydesdales. And so something a little bit about them. Each pitch horse will consume as much as 20 to 25 quarts of whole grains, minerals, and vitamins, and between 50 and 60 pounds of hay, and 30 gallons of water per day. I mean, considering the size of them, I don't think we can be surprised by that.
I don't know if you noticed, but there is a Dalmatian sitting up on the hitch, and Dalmatians have traveled with the Clydesdales since the 1950s. The Dalmatian breed has been associated with horses for a very long time.
So I guess they're not just a firehouse dog.
That's right.
Joe, looking dapper in your hat.
I saw the New Year's Day, the New Year's Eve hat here, and I thought, well, I've got to see if it fits.
Yeah.
It's a little tight.
But looking spiffy.
Why, thank you.
Oh, Runway Country Music Fest. You know, I heard that was a hot ticket this Christmas season, people buying tickets for presents. This is a several-day country music festival that's happening down at Kissimmee at the Old Heritage Park.
In March.
In March. Lots of great bands. Like I said, we've got Kenny Chesney. We've got a bunch of fantastic country artists.
That's the only one that I know, Kenny Chesney.
I know all of them, but I'll be honest, it's all blanking on me
Right
right
now.
now. So this is Super Holiday Tours. You know, they offer experienced student trips. They're experts, and what they do is they help marching bands and student group travel around the world since 1975. You know, and if you guys are just getting to this live stream now, let me welcome you. We're about halfway through our parade, and you're here watching the 35th annual Florida Citrus Parade. This is a live stream brought to you from the Orlando Sentinel, an exclusive live stream several days before the parade actually, the broadcast goes up on TV. So you guys have a front row seat to something the rest of the world is waiting for in just a few days.
By the way, I was able to listen to this live stream driving over from Daytona Beach.
Oh.
Yeah, I just picked it up on the iPhone and watched it, not while I was driving, but listening.
This circles back to Marco Santana's point
Be
about
safe.
safety.
Be
Yeah.
safe.
So guys, that was the Miss Rodeo Florida Association. You saw her with her fancy cowgirl wear, riding another set of beautiful horses.
That was Sheila Shara. She's the 20-year-old daughter of Tim and Beth Shara from St. Cloud.
Yeah, pretty much a local. Welcome.
Yeah, a graduate of Harmony High School here in Central Florida. So now coming up, we have the Alexis I. DuPont High School Marching Band. They are from Greenville, Delaware, which I'm sure it's a little chilly in Delaware right now today too. And we might want to remind you that, we're having some terrific weather today. It is sunny, 81 degrees. It's a beautiful day in Central Florida.
And before we just go in for a listen, let me tell you guys, the AI Tiger Marching Band has a history of participation in musical, cultural, and sports events across the globe and the nation. They've appeared at the Pasadena Tournament of Roses Parade in 1990, 1995, 1999, 2004, 2008, and they've done other parades outside of Florida, outside of California, Dublin,
Outside of the
London.
United States.
Yeah, I mean, these are some world traveling kids. They've got a bright future ahead of them.
Yes, they've been to Dublin, Ireland, London, England, and to Rome, Italy. That's quite the travels.
One notable appearance was that they were part of the inauguration parade for President Barack Obama. As you guys can see, more parade beads are being thrown because really it's not a parade unless you're going home with a neck full of beads. I think those double as a New Year's Eve decoration and garb
Yes,
for
they do.
everybody here in Orlando, staying for the holiday, staying for the bowl game. I actually keep a desk drawer full of beads I've collected at parades from town. You know, you never know when you're going to need to look snazzy.
Yeah, you never know when you need to don some beads.
This is the Bright House Network Citrus Float. Bright House Networks, for people outside of our coverage area, there are utilities, cable companies, cable, internet, television. They're one of the main providers here in Central Florida and around Florida. Back to the Pope cam. Oh, he's found the Shriners.
Rich Pope is one of our mobile videographers working this parade, and he was very excited about the Shriners being in the parade today.
Oh, we've got some Michigan folks coming through. I think next up, when we get to it, we will see former head coach of University of Michigan, Coach Lloyd Carr.
Yes, he served as the head football coach at the University of Michigan from 1995 through the 2007 season.
I think under Carr, the Wolverines compiled a record of 122-40 and won or shared 5 Big Ten conference titles in 97, 98, 2000, 2003, and 2004.
Yes, Carr's 1997 team was declared the national champion by the Associated Press.
He was inducted into the College Football Hall of Fame as a coach in 2011, so obviously quite a storied career for former Coach Carr.
And coming up is the University of Michigan Marching Band. The current director is Dr. John D. Pascal, And underneath his direction and the direction of Dr. Brown, the Michigan Marching Band strives to create a relevant presence in today's modern world. They use all kinds of new technology, innovative show concepts. They're willing to take risks, and the band continues to make headlines and set trends.
You know, and as I previously stated, they have a very active Twitter presence, guys. As of this morning, they have 5,923 followers, and I learned through Twitter that the band actually performed last night by marching in Disney's Magic Kingdom Main Street Electrical Parade. So they've already had a performance, so I think they're old hat at this point. But let's have a listen in.
Caitlin, how much did you say a tuba weighs?
Ah, yes. The one musical instrument fact I have for today's live stream. Between 15 and 30 pounds is what a tuba's going for.
That's quite a bit of weight there to be.
Yes, it is.
To be short stepping it.
Yeah.
In a cape and a fancy hat. Yeah.
Speaking of short stepping, if you notice, the Wolverine band has white shoes, and that is to emphasize the marching, the motion of the feet as they march. Much more noticeable during a halftime show on the field, but it's very common to Midwest schools to have white shoe covers for that emphasis.
Interesting. So not only do they have the pressure of performing, but they have the pressure of knowing people can see their feet.
That's correct.
They have to be very precise.
Yep.
Those folks have a great view.
I wonder how early they had to get there to nab that spot.
Yeah.
Oh, we got some Michigan fans in the house. I'm sure she just like told them she saw.
News truck. Producing the count on. 679, Highway 2.
Well, I guess if I was going to cross a parade, I would do it while it stopped too. You know, and here at the Orlando Sentinel, I am pretty active covering parades. You know, whether it's the Come Out with Pride parade downtown, if it's Veterans Day,
Yes.
4th of July. I think I've covered almost every single parade that the city offers in the last year. So, you know, I think if people are crossing it, go when there's a lull.
Good advice.
A little pro tip from somebody who dodges parade floats. The Pope Cam back with the Shriners. And just so you guys know, you're seeing the Shriners now, but they're actually the last parade float and group you'll see in the parade, and they will mark 51 of parade participants in terms of groups. So we're more than halfway there.
This is the City of Orlando Downtown Development Board float. Look at all of the citrus on that, Joe.
I imagine there are a few honeybees following them down Orange Avenue.
Oh, look, and a little selfie stick, too, on the parade float.
And if you guys caught a glimpse of that dapper polar bear, that would be from the Solar Bears, our local hockey team. Shades with a Z.
Speaking of shades, it's amazing how they can get so many shades of orange and yellow out of citrus.
Mm-hmm. Yes, yes.
There's a real dimension to the float, so you can tell the effort and the strategery that needs to go into it.
Yeah.
It's a craft.
Well, having photographed the assembling of the floats, it is a lot of fun and a little crazy. The groups that do that seem to really enjoy putting them all together. And I believe all the citrus floats are all built in the same facility.
Yes.
The convention center this year.
Yes.
Where they were built. And if you guys missed it earlier, just some stuff. 120,000 pieces of citrus were used this year, oranges, grapefruits, and tangerines, and there were 700 people volunteering to help construct those floats. 10 shifts, 4-hour shifts, and there is one known volunteer who did all 10 shifts. I mean, that's dedication. If you don't love citrus,
That's a lot of citrus.
and arts and crafts, I mean, I don't know how you do it. I have to say, maybe next year I'll convince the Florida Citrus people to let me be part of building a
Maybe
float.
a first person.
First, you know?
Yeah.
I'm all about that.
I have a
first person.
photographer ready for you right now.
I am ready to photograph citrus.
You guys will tell what float is mine because it'll just be ever so slightly off. Less professional, more whimsical. Is that the word?
Creative. This is the Boy Scouts of America, the Central Florida Council.
Yep, in our Central Florida Council, it serves scouts in Orange, Osceola, Seminole, Lake, Brevard, Volusia, and Flagler County. So it's quite a sprawl. They're headquartered in Apopka, which is in Orange County.
Well, we've got a little break here in the action. I am going to say goodbye.
All right.
Thanks for having me.
Thanks for hanging out,
Yeah,
Joe.
this has really
Thanks
been
for joining
enjoyable.
us.
And look for our pictures, Orlando Sentinel, on OrlandoSentinel.com after the game. And we will have lots of them there.
Excellent,
of
Joe.
visuals.
Before you leave, can I get a clinking of the glass?
Absolutely.
yeah.
Thank you, sir.
Yes.
Thank you.
Happy New Year,
Happy
sir.
New Year.
Thanks, Joe.
Enjoy the rest of the parade.
Thank you. Have fun with all
Thank
your
you.
photography.
Thank you.
So folks, this is the Bullock Blues Marching Band. It's really kind of a neat story. It's a combination of a handful of bands, the Marching Blue Devils, Statesboro High School, the Swarm, SC Bullock High School, Portal Pride Marching Band, Porter High School, all from Bullock County, Georgia.
Yeah, and guys, why this is such a unique story and a unique band is the fact that these groups have voluntarily combined their marching bands and their bands to better enhance their programs. And by having a united front, they're hoping to get more national invites to events. And so doing a little research on guys, they're also very active on Twitter. And they had a GoFundMe account for a while because since they're so fresh and so innovative, they're looking for any funding they can get to better enhance the future of these students, which if you know anything about how it works, sometimes arts, unfortunately, is the first thing cut in a school district, and these kids are sort of fighting back by banding together. So let's have a listen. I just want to give kudos to the person who bought those marchers. Some pretty sweet shades of that lime green armband.
Well, if you're
like
going to be a
that.
blues band, you kind of have to have the shades, I think. It's kind of requirement, dress code requirement.
Do you think they sell those online too? I mean, I'd buy one. I'd support the I'd support the Bullock Blues marching band. Back to the Pope can. Seeing a little bit of action outside of the grandstand.
We have Miss Citrus.
Oh, Miss
looks like.
Citrus Teen, Miss Citrus. We have a lot of misses and little ladies up there.
Yeah.
How tall do you think they have to stand to not knock over those crowns? I think that takes practice. Oh, and we have a little mister up there. He's down in your bottom right corner. He's wearing orange. Wonder if he's a Florida fan.
They got the waves down pretty good.
Do you think they practice that?
They have
Do you think they practice
I'm practicing
waving?
mine right now.
Here's the thing. So you could either go elbow, elbow, wrist, wrist, or you do sort of the cup.
How did you learn this? Did you?
I like to think I'm a princess, obviously.
Okay. All right.
Oh, look at how cute they are.
They're adorable. Oh, look
Look
at
at that
him.
mister. Oh, love it.
Check out these lovely ladies and gentlemen as well coming down the road. World's Perfect 3 Team Junior Team
Back to the Pope Cam. Oh, we have the stilt walker.
That takes some talent.
I can't walk flat
I
on the
know.
ground bare
Yeah.
feet. So
I'm lucky if I don't fall up the stairs. Let
adding
alone
height
walk
is
on
a
stilts.
bad idea.
Yeah.
Oh, a little Scooby-Doo
Scooby-Doo
action.
Yeah.
Oh, we have the Oak Harbor High School marching band.
It's a public grade 9 through 12 high school that's located in Oak Harbor, Washington on Whidbey Island.
Let's have a listen to the Oak Harbor High School band.
The Ohio State University Marching Band. They also perform in the Cedar Point Halloween Weekend Parade and in the Season 9 of American Idol Parade. They are joined in this parade today with their friends, their friendly rivals from Fort Worth High School. Fort Worth is only 12 miles away from Oak Harbor.
The Marching Rocket making their way past our live stream cam downtown Orlando, Florida. Oh, I see some minions. I'm guessing we have Universal coming up soon. We're welcoming to our studio Heather McPherson, who is going to be offering her insights to the parade. So Heather, welcome to the Orlando Sentinel
Thank
studio.
you. You know, I'm sorry, Kathy Lee and Hoda, but where is my mimosa? I'm sorry.
Waiter!
Hold on. For the record, just to clarify, as we did beginning, this is just Florida citrus.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
No.
We like to pretend that it's a mimosa, but
All right.
This is work after all.
That's true. That's true. Well, you know, a couple years ago, I had the really wonderful work of judging the parade.
Oh,
And it's quite impressive thing to do, because when you think about, you know, look at how wonderfully shaped these floats are, and people really go out for the full theme and all of that, and then all the hard work, all those rubber bands. You know, can you see the people late at night, 2 o'clock in the morning, getting snap in the face as you try to put all of those oranges in place?
that kind of sounds like a traumatic incident.
It could be. It could be. I've heard volunteer stories. And the fact that it's all Florida citrus is really, really, really wonderful.
Oh,
look.
And we have
Thank you, kind
beverage
waiter.
service here in the Orlando Sentinel studio.
Cheers, girls.
Cheers. Cheers. Thank
Well, you guys
you.
are doing a bang-up job.
Thank you.
thank you.
And the floats really are a lot of work, and you really hope that people along the parade. What kid doesn't like a parade?
No, absolutely
You
not.
know,
And
and
we love the fact that all of that citrus is donated to food banks here in Central
absolutely.
Florida. So it doesn't go to waste.
And that's why they use the rubber bands. A lot of people think they're sort of stuck in with pens
Yeah.
or big nails. No, they actually use a rubber band. It's very clean, so it's going to easily go onto a menu, a recipe, or into a nice glass of OJ.
Yeah, doesn't damage the fruit at all.
Absolutely not. Oh, I love the old cars.
Yeah.
I came at the dog's bar. I love the
Heather,
old cars.
a lady after my own heart. I've been talking about the cars all
Yeah.
morning.
Well, this one actually is featuring Elmo on the front.
Very, very nice. Oh, and look around the lights. The citrus touch around the lights
Yeah.
here, that is killer.
Oh, these are the bowl legends, guys.
Okay, we need a sports guy here to tell
Yeah.
us who they are.
I can tell you this. They're bowl legends. I've heard they're legendary.
I am seeing that.
I apologize for my lack of information on that, but, you know.
So I mean, right now everyone's gearing up for the Tournament of Roses parade, but you know, a lot of people don't appreciate the history of this parade and just how wonderful it is for us to do. And it is really, truly an all organic, you know, citrus is throughout, and this is part of our history, part of our culture.
Well, this is actually the 35th year of the parade, so it's been around for a long time.
It's so great to see the tradition continue, and I love the college bands, but I also love a few surprises of the high school bands
Yeah.
too that show up, and very, very
So
talented
Heather,
young
you
people.
said you were a judge. So
I
how
was
does
a
that
judge.
how does that work?
Well, you actually sit up on a riser as they come by, and here in Orlando now, they usually put the judges up the metropolitan condos,
Okay.
and you would be there, and you have a score sheet. You know,
Quite official.
quite official. You know how do they execute the theme, their use of citrus, any other sort of extra things you wanted to add on. And it was quite hard. You kind of think, oh, someone asked you to do that, and it's like, well, this is easier than the Cold Bake Off. I mean, you just got to stand up there. Actually, someone did provide us mimosas, and you're going to sit up there. You have a day out of work from the office in this beautiful, beautiful area, and you're going to judge floats. And it was really quite fun and difficult.
Yeah.
Because you know the hard work that goes in, and you see some of the theme parks come by, and you go, oh, well, it's Disney, so it's fabulous. You see Universal come by, and it's fabulous. And then you see some of these other trade associations, like the farmer groups and stuff. And so we try to give everyone a fair shot.
Sure.
But, oh, look, I think Marilyn Monroe. Whoa.
Speaking of theme parks, this would be Universal Resort Orlando. They are part of our top 3, our big 3 here in Orlando and Central Florida. We've got Disney, which we saw earlier. We have Universal, and then our big top 3 rounding out with SeaWorld. So this would be Universal's presence. And right now they're finishing up their holiday celebration with Grinchmas and all stuff. And so another big presence.
Amazing. And those still walkers.
We've
Always
got
on
Lucy.
first. Oh, I see Lucille Ball in a really rockin' Corvette.
That is a nice car.
And again, we're back to the
To the
cars.
car. We were admiring
How
the
can
car.
we get to drive a car in the parade next year, ladies?
We need
This
to
is
work
it.
on that. We write that down.
We could just commandeer them to come back into the Sentinel parking lot somehow, Sort of like Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Can't we just change the parade route?
Popeye and Oliver.
Very, very good. Popeye looks happier than he usually is.
Yes.
Must have
Yeah,
had a
isn't it?
wimpy burger,
Picture him kind of
spinach,
grumpy. Isn't he supposed to be
something.
grumpy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's having a
Oh,
very good
Betty Boop.
Universal really rolled it out with the cars this year. That is impressive. I would have liked to have seen a little more citrus. I'm sorry. I'm just saying. I love Universal. Love me some Universal, but
Scooby-Doo.
a
It was
dog
a favorite
and a
of mine.
Corvette. How can you go wrong with that?
For a second, I thought it looked like Scooby was asking him, watch me whip, watch me nay-nay. I thought that was just happening for him.
Curious George.
Doesn't talk much.
No. It's a
Okay.
quiet monkey.
Yeah.
But mischievous.
Yes, absolutely. Oh. From the Minions movie.
It wouldn't be complete if we didn't have Gru.
Yes. He's in a more modern sports car too. I did notice that. Oh, we've got some security walking across.
Minions
Because
are
the Minions
coming
could
by.
get a little bit out of hand. Maybe that's why security's being beefed up
Yeah,
right now. You never know what a Minion's going to do on a parade route.
Hey, Cassie, can I hear your best Minion impression?
No.
Fine.
That was going to be a first. I never heard that. I never heard Cassie do that across the newsroom.
And I thought you were here for all the fun and games.
Well, look at the one guy. He's just leaning back, waving. The other guy's going, seriously, I'm standing
He's
up.
probably
this whole
getting
thing.
heat stroke. Minions don't know how to handle Orlando weather, I don't think.
And today is a scorcher out there for
It is,
all
yeah,
the
so warm.
parade enthusiasts. I think we've got a band coming up. I see some flags.
Oh yeah, coming down the line, guys, we have California High School. They're commonly known as Cal High, and they're one of 2 public high schools located in San Ramon, California, and their mascot's the grizzly bear.
They've left the bear back at the hotel. Someone is really upset right now. Cannot see the bear.
That's not to say he's not, carrying up
That's
the
right.
back. Yeah.
He could be in a car.
If I was a bear, I'd ask for it.
He saw the Universal car. He goes, I want a car, and I want it right
Like
now.
Scooby doesn't just get a sweet car.
That's
I also
right.
get a sweet car. We're going to have a listen in to the Pinto Pride Band at Cal High.
Area close to the state capital of Jefferson City. The band consistently ranked as one of the top marching bands in Central Missouri. And last year was the featured band for the grand opening of one of the largest expansions ever at the Silver Dollar City, the local Naval Park. This high school band marches 66 members strong. Let's give it a listen.
I love their hats, Caitlin. Nice little feather.
I think I love everything about that. Since you are watching the live stream of a newspaper here, I just want to point out that Cal High's student-run monthly newspaper, The Californian, is award-winning. The paper's writers, photographers, graphic designers, and artists have won numerous awards over the past few years, from 2000 to 2008, including a total of 17 during the 2007-2008 school year. And their first school paper was The Bear Facts, which is funny, and founded in 1973.
And now, folks, we're going to welcome to our studio set Todd Stewart.
All right, Todd, what brings you, one, so handsomely dressed to our studio, and two, to our mics?
Well, I think we need to get this on the record. We upped the ante this year with what you guys have done to the show. We need to be afloat in the parade next year. We've got a lot of creative people. You are one of the at the top of that list. I think we need to float in the parade.
As long as Caitlin and I get to ride on the parade float next year.
We'll get you the mimosas.
Yeah.
We'll live stream from it out in the parade. That's what we're running.
You know, I would not actually at all be against that. So I'm going to go ahead and just put this out there, guys. If you have any Orlando Sentinel parade float ideas, tweet them at me. I'm at Caitlin Deneen. I'm going to write that out for you so you can get the proper spelling of my name. But you heard it here first. The Orlando Sentinel wants in on this, guys.
We're putting you on notice, Publisher Nancy Meyer. We need the money.
Tweet at me, at Caitlin Deneen, guys. We want to be part of the parade action, and not just from the comfort of our studio. I think Cassie and I would be willing to sweat it out for the Florida Citrus Parade. 36th annual next year.
I mean, you think this bowl created itself?
I mean, you guys can't say we didn't go all out. We have glasses. I mean, come on, they're real.
They have glasses. I have no glasses. Got quite a gap here.
Oh, but you know what? We've got a new group coming on up here. That would be the Young Black Action Community Marching Band. Young Blacks in Action. I apologize for that mistake, folks, but they're a community marching band. Fancy drum work from those fellas.
What's really cool about this group is just seeing the diversity in ages.
Yes.
From very small to very tall.
You're never too young to play a drum in the Florida Citrus Parade.
Oh, and they have some moves too.
A little fancy step in there. I kind of want to take a moment and just applaud some of the younger parade participants. Could you imagine one walking that huge length for this parade route and then know you're performing for people, and then on top of it, knowing your performance is going to be broadcast in just a few days? I mean, that's just impressive, the talent and dedication these kids have.
I think coming up we have
It's like a giant teddy bear.
It is
Florida Hospital citrus float. Yes.
It's a giant teddy bear, yes.
Oh, we seem to have paused.
And I think you're right, guessing that this would be Florida Hospital. Otherwise, I think we have a reason for concern that there is an ambulance in the parade route.
I suspect someone is giving a performance, so we've paused.
We've paused the parade, yes.
Yeah. Here we go.
And we're moving again. And you know, guys, if you are just joining us a little late in the parade, but if you're here, welcome to the Orlando Sentinel's live stream of the 35th annual Florida Citrus Parade. It happens here in downtown Orlando, here in sunny Florida. Hence all the citrus.
That's right. 35 years this parade has been going. Yes.
And you know, all these floats, a record 10, include more than 120,000 pieces of citrus, grapefruit, tangerine, and oranges, all local Florida citrus, Florida strong. And we're looking at the Florida Hospital Citrus Float.
It's a good looking bear.
It is that's a very good looking bear. I like the detail down to the pads on its feet.
Yeah.
it's only fitting if you're going to have Florida Hospital for Children that you have a teddy bear and some kids up on that float. Who doesn't love a teddy bear?
I'll be honest, I feel like they should be throwing something. We need more beads. We're going to have beads on our float. Write that down.
All right, made a note. Made a note. We have some suggestions already.
Oh, all right, guys. So we
Twitter.
got a tweet saying that it's Oak Harbor in Ohio, not Washington.
Oh.
The hashtag too much mimosa, which while funny is inaccurate because we're just drinking orange juice. But Beth Klima, I apologize, and we at the Orlando Sentinel, we apologize for our error. So that would be Oak Harbor, Ohio, the marching band. But I will say, regardless of the state, they sounded fantastic. So you guys are doing something right in Ohio, out in Oak Harbor. And again, apologies on that error.
And here we have Union High School, which is a public high school in Vancouver, Washington, established in 2007. So fairly new.
Yeah,
fairly
and
new high school.
Their mascot is the Titan. And so the Union High School band program is it's within the first year they had 120 students, and since then it's grown to serving more than 200 students at Union High School, and it offers a wide variety of musical opportunities for students to participate in. They've got concert band, symphonic band, 2 jazz ensembles, percussion, chamber music, wind ensemble, basketball band, and marching band. So let's give the Marching Titans a listen.
Yeah.
Everybody should recognize this. It's Zippity Doo Dah.
Zippity Doo Dah,
A Disney classic and favorite. So let's have a listen.
In June of 2010, Newsweek magazine listed Union High School on its annual list of America's best high schools. So that's a pretty good accomplishment for a fairly new school.
If I'm correct, I believe this is our last performance of the day with the marching band. So we're going to listen to them round out the parade for us, and then we'll end with our Shriners.
Oh, looks like we have another little gap.
Another little gap. All right. So guys, as you heard, that was the last marching band of the day, Union High School from Vancouver, Washington. Rounding out the musical performances. Oh, and I see some flags, and I see more police motorcycles.
Yes.
And we will round out the 35th annual Florida Citrus Parade in just a few moments. Thank you for staying with Orlando Sentinel for your live stream opportunity. So Cassie, what did you think of what we've seen so far?
I've been very impressed. The floats, you can tell, have had a lot of time and effort put into the preparation of them and the building of them. It's very impressive.
I gotta say, having learned all that I have about this parade and all the work that goes into it, I feel like I'm almost more appreciative that we're able to play the host city for this event annually.
I also love seeing all of the high school marching bands from across the country. It's very impressive to come here. I'm sure they fundraise and all throughout the year in preparation to come down here to Orlando to participate in this parade. And it's a lot of hard work for the kids and for their parents.
I think we are popping around a little bit between the Pope Cam and our live stream downtown. The parade is pretty much all but ended We've got the Shriners who are rounding out the last of the parade. The Bahia Shriners, they're located in Orlando, and they have exclusive jurisdiction over the counties of Lake, Orange, Osceola, Seminole, Sumter, and Volusia County.
So folks, you heard us talking several times about the Pope Cam. This is Rich Pope.
Rich Pope is in the house.
I think I've earned one of these. I'm taking it.
Waiter.
That was awesome. Awesome parade, guys. Awesome parade. How did you go back here?
You did a great job, Rich.
Other than one flub, which thankfully someone called us out for on Twitter, we had the wrong state of a marching band. Again,
Nice.
Ohio, Ohio, Ohio. I am sorry. Your team was fantastic. But, Rich, tell us a little bit about your man on the street. Tell me all about it.
It was a great parade. Great parade. I think I've done the parade route about 5 times now, just running back and forth. You probably saw like my cam when I'd run a few times, but it was a lot of fun. I had my bucket list of things that I was going to go find on camera, and I think I hit them all. Like there was like the Village's twirlers. They were pretty awesome. I love that. And then there were the Shriners. Actually, I hitched a ride with the Shriners. I don't know if you guys caught that, but I got to jump in the back of the little paddy wagon there and hitched a ride with the Shriners. So that was pretty cool. So that was like a check off the bucket list. Of course, I wanted to see all of the college marching bands. To me, to me, that's the Citrus Bowl parade. Like anytime done the Citrus Bowl, like gone down to watch it, the parades, they're like the marching bands from the colleges just make it, because that's just like that sets up like the whole mood for say the Citrus Bowl, like where it's just like that pepped up, like we got a game going on, and the player, I'm not the players, but the bands, they were hyped. It was pretty cool, you know. So that was cool, and I got to stop in with some of the UF, like I stopped in them real quick and talked to them, and apparently they were at Disney World yesterday, so they're having fun. So that was cool, and you know, UF band was cool. The Michigan band just rocked it. It was just fun, so I like that. And then I'm trying to think what else I had on my bucket list. I think I hit most of them. I really did. It was a lot of fun. It was hot, but it was fun, and glad I had that nap.
And did you see a lot of Michigan and Florida fans? How were the people?
I'd say Florida took the crowd pretty much. You know, you knew it.
Well, it's a little easier when they're in Florida.
You could tell. Like, I mean, there was a lot of chomping, and then there was even chomping from some of the groups that weren't even part of Florida, you know, that were in the parade. They were walking down chomping, so that was pretty cool. That's cool to see. But there was definitely Michigan fans out there for sure. They were out there, and you know, it's like, why wouldn't you come here from Michigan right now? You know, it's, you know, as you can tell, I'm sweating a little bit. It's hot.
It's
so
beautiful outside.
Complete difference. So yeah, but it was a good parade.
You know, and let's just finish our reporting with another error.
Oh no!
So we're gonna have to call this human error. Kristen Wheeler, thank you, Kristen, for pointing this out on Twitter. Union High School Band is from Tulsa, Oklahoma. So I think in our first year doing this live stream, 2 strikes isn't terrible.
We'll do better next time.
I will say it is unacceptable. So guys, on behalf of this reporting team for the Sentinel, we apologize. However, Union High School, as we heard at the end, pretty much killed it.
Yeah,
so
you guys were
good for you guys in Tulsa.
Yep, I'd say they earned one of these too.
Oh, all right, guys. So
everyone's gonna get a piece of the centerpiece. You guys earned an orange.
Union High School and Kristen Wheeler, you guys have earned an orange from the Orlando Sentinel. We do apologize for the error, but it was a great team and a great marching band to round out our parade. And so as you can see from the live stream there, we're pretty much rounding out. We've got a few more stragglers that we're looking at here.
Yep, this is Shriners. You might actually get a catch of the thing I got to ride on, which was pretty cool. It's the guy's in like a he's in the striped suit, essentially, like
so
a prisoner
actually
guard.
Was a paddy wagon.
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
And I asked the guy, like, what kind of bet did you lose? Yep, that was my ride right there. I got to hop on that, and that was pretty cool. That guy was he was gracious enough to let me jump in, so that was kind of cool.
I don't want to put you on the spot or anything, Rich, but was that your first time behind bars?
Yes, that was first time, and I'm not embarrassed about that one. That was pretty cool. So I'm thinking next year I'm aiming for the actual little Shriner cars. Those I've always gotten a kick out of those, even as a kid. It's like I even told those guys, I'm like, I expect to see you guys in your little cars every time, and you know, they're happy to be there. Yeah, they are. So they were fun. Oh, and actually, those guys said...
Are they riding coolers?
Yes, and they clarified that they have Coca-Cola in those coolers. So
no mimosas for them either.
Yeah, they clarified all that. It was Coca-Cola. So, you know, I didn't look in, so I couldn't say for sure.
So we're just being very trusting with our sources.
Yeah, but he's a Shriner. You gotta trust a Shriner. Come on.
I mean, how could you not trust a man who's wheeling around in a tiny plane?
That's right. But no, it was a lot of fun. It was a good parade, and you could tell everyone was enjoying themselves. And one thing that was really neat about it is there was room to spread out. Like you could find a good spot. It was packed, but there was plenty of room along the route where you could just kind of sit down and watch it from different places. And the crowd was just really gracious about letting people sit and hang out, and everyone was having a good time. So it was a good parade.
Did you end up with any beads? A lot of the people
I didn't,
were
but
throwing beads.
I think I got stomped on by a couple marching bands. I kind of, what was the one? There was a lot of trucks. Like when the trucks, like if I was getting to a shot where I was like shooting down the street, I kind of had to look over my shoulder a few times and I got out of the way. But no beads. I almost got hit with them. That's about it. I wasn't aiming for the beads.
It's a good thing you were wearing that hat.
Yeah, absolutely, it was fun.
Well, as you guys can see, it seems as if the 35th annual Florida Citrus Parade is wrapping up in downtown Orlando here in sunshiny Florida. We've got the Shriners rounding it out for us, but you can tell the crowd is dispersing slightly, which makes sense. They've been standing or sitting in the heat for probably 2.5, 3 hours at this point.
Yeah, and at this point, this is kind of the end of the route, so yeah, this is on the backside of Orange Avenue, or is it Roslyn, right? Backside of Roslyn. Yeah, so this is where it's winding down, and these guys they kind of closed out the parade.
Fantastic.
I did enjoy seeing I don't know if you guys got this, the folks from Universal were out with with their characters and things like that, and there were the stilt walkers, and I don't know if it came across, but one of the stilt walkers actually, he took the camera and gave me an even higher cam, like a
fantastic,
which is pretty neat. Yeah, so he had a little bit of fun with that too. So
I could not be a stilt walker. I was telling Caitlin I have trouble just walking upstairs. So put me on stilts, I'd be very dangerous.
I'm the complete opposite. I'm like, put me in a mini car, put me on a unicycle, put me on stilts, put me on anything, I'll go do it on the parade. So. Oh no.
It looks like we have some car issues going on here.
I think the plane is also about to be towed by one of the Shriner
vehicles. It looks like we're pretty much wrapping it up.
Yep. Thing is, if you're going to get towed, this is the place to get towed, because this is the end.
All right.
All right, guys, so thank you for staying with us, whether you were here at the beginning, if you came in the middle, if you sort of caught the last end there. Thank you for joining the Orlando Sentinel for the live stream and co-hosting and broadcast of the 35th Annual Florida Citrus Parade from here in downtown Orlando. I'm Caitlin Deneen.
I'm Cassie Armstrong.
And I'm Rich. I was behind the Pope Cam.
And, guys, I think that wraps it up. I finished my Florida Citrus, but I will cheer with the orange I'm sending Kristen Wheeler.
All right. Cheers and Happy New Year.
Happy New Year, guys.
Thanks for joining us.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, guys.